Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Who will Manchester United sign in this summer transfer window? There's a lot of players that we are linked with. I'm very confident that Manchester United will sign Jadon Sancho. Man United are increasingly confident that they will finally sign Jadon Sancho as negotiations begin. We are not ready to pay over the odds for Sancho. Fabrizio Romano has said that Manchester United are interested in Sancho, and he's revealed how much Borussia Dortmund want for Sancho. He will cost around 77.4 million to 81.7 million. We have been handed a boost in our pursuit of Sancho. Borussia Dortmund are ready to sell early in the transfer window. Jadon Sancho has Man United transfer hopes as Borussia Dortmund are looking for replacements. Jadon Sancho said recently he wants his future resolved before the start of the Euros. Bundesliga journalist Konstantin Eckner has said Man United have reached an agreement in principle with Sancho, but no bid has yet been made. Sky Sports said not so long ago that Man United do remain in talks with Jadon Sancho's representatives, and Man United is the most realistic destination for the player. Earlier on this year, Borussia Dortmund did confirm that they've got a gentleman's agreement with Sancho that will allow him to depart Dortmund this summer. Jadon Sancho has agreed personal terms with Man United and would prefer Sancho over Harry Kane. But it has been a long-running transfer saga in regards to Sancho. We've been in for him for like the last 2 years. Last summer, he was our number one priority target. And last summer, I thought we was going to get him because Sancho to Man United was extremely close. You know, the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, and the contract and that had been agreed. The reason we didn't get him is because we was reluctant to meet Borussia Dortmund's 108 million valuation. We was only willing to pay so much up front. Last year, Dortmund gave us until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so Sancho didn't come to Man United. He remained at Dortmund. Sancho's endured 4 years at Dortmund. Dortmund paid just £7 million for him from Man City. He endured a couple of years at Man City. The reason he left Manchester City is because he didn't get assured any first team opportunities. And he's got a contract with Dortmund until 2023. But yeah, he'll be a great signing for Manchester United. The reasons is because he'll fit in our team perfectly. He's predominantly a right winger. He will exceed expectations in the Premier League. He's very good at creating chances. He can also score very good goals. He's still young. He's got a lot of development in him. And he's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. You know, they do talk to each other a lot. So I think he will be our second signing in the summer transfer window, because obviously Tom Heaton is going to be our first signing, is it? Man United are set to sign Tom Heaton on a 3 transfer. Tom Heaton has agreed a 2-year contract on Man United with an option of an extra one. Fabrizio Romano said that Tom Heaton will undergo his medical in the last week of June. The other week, Tom Heaton said his goodbyes to Aston Villa. He got released by Aston Villa. Villa did confirm that on their official website. We used to have Tom Heaton before. Raphael Varane, Man United could sign him in this summer transfer window. Now, Spanish outlet ABC have said Raphael Varane appears to be in favour of a move to Man United. Fabrizio Romano has already said that Raphael Varane is refusing a contract at Real Madrid. So obviously he can join Man United. Man United have offered Raphael Varane a 5-year contract and a higher wage. The other day, he said that Real Madrid will accept as little as €40 million for Varane. That is a bargain. And he said we may have been handed a boost in our pursuit of Raphael Varane, with Carlo Ancelotti returning to Real Madrid. He said Man United and PSG made offers, because it's impossible for Real Madrid to meet Raphael Varane's demands. It recently said that Raphael Varane rejected Man United in favour of a move to PSG. Defence Essential said that Man United and Chelsea are prepared to double his wages. Not so long ago, Varane spoke out on his future. He said it's unlikely his future will be resolved for the summer's European Championships. Romano said towards the end of last season that Varane is the main name on Man United's list, and we're waiting to see what happens with his situation at Real Madrid. Man United have already held talks with his representatives. Not so long ago, Real Madrid rejected a £40 million bid. At one point, it said Real Madrid were demanding £60 million. They may still want £60 million. £60 million is still a bargain for him, no. But Raphael Varane's contract talks at Real Madrid stalled a while ago. He said last season he's keen on a move to the Premier League. Now, back in 2018, Woodward was prepared to sanction a £100 million move. And went in for Varane 10 years ago. Under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. But we didn't get him. Varane would be a great signing for Manchester United. The reasons is because he's regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He'd go very well alongside Harry Maguire in our backline. They complement each other well. He's highly experienced. He would exceed expectations in the Premier League. And he's got a great pedigree as a player. He's won 18 major honours at Real Madrid. So they are the reasons, and he's been a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He's enjoyed 10 years with them. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions, and Madrid paid just €10 million for him from Lens back in 2011. Man United are still in search for a centre-half despite Eric Bailly signing a new contract towards the end of last season. Declan Rice, I think, there's a chance Manchester United could sign him in this summer transfer window. He said not so long ago that Man United are preparing to put a transfer bid in for Declan Rice to test West Ham resolve. West Ham value Declan Rice at £100 million. He's a good player, but he's not worth £100 million. I reckon he's worth from between £60 to £70 million. Declan Rice, don't forget, he's desperate for Jesse Lingard to seal a permanent transfer at West Ham. Darren Fletcher, our technical director, did reveal that Declan Rice asked about Man United when he was on international duty with England. And reports came out the other month saying that Rice is interested in joining Man United, and he asked Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw about life at Old Trafford. He'd be a great signing for us, because Rice is predominantly a holding midfielder, and Man United are in search for a holding midfielder, and he can also be deployed as a centre-half. He'd be a good adequate replacement for Matic. Rice is also well proven in the Premier League. He initially learned his trade in the Premier League. And he breaks up the play well. And he's still young, he's got a lot of development in him, so they are the reasons. Rice has been at West Ham for like 7 years now, and he's got a contract with them until 2024. So yeah, they're the players Man United could sign in the summer transfer window. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said he wants to make around 4 new signings in order for Man United to challenge for the Premier League title next season. I think we can challenge for the league next season, providing that we recruit well in this summer transfer window. Solskjaer has been given a £150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. Our board have said that they will back Solskjaer with a new 3-year contract and summer signings despite the Europa League final loss. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aware of how big this summer transfer window is for himself and Manchester United in general. It's very imperative that he gets the players he wants to recommend in. This summer transfer window is Ole's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. But I am expecting him to get the backing he deserves, obviously reflecting on what the board have recently said, and plus, we've got John Murtaugh, he's our director of football, we've got Darren Fletcher, he's our technical director, and we've also got Matt Judge, and Matt Judge has been part of the club for a long time. We're going to offload players in the summer transfer window, so in that aspect we'll generate money and it will help us with our rebuilding process. I think there's a good chance that we'll offload David De Gea, It'd be the right decision to offload David De Gea, because I reckon now De Gea has had his years at Manchester United. De Gea's endured 10 years at Man United, so he has been a long servant. A few years ago, De Gea was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world. You know, he's won everything domestically at the football club. He's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. But in the last couple of years, De Gea has been a liability, reflecting on the calamitous mistakes he's made. De Gea is obviously now our second choice goalkeeper, because Dean Henderson's our number one. I've got to credit though De Gea. I thought last season he produced his best performances after the Everton collapse in February. And he responded well to Dean Henderson getting the number one jersey. And he put a very good performance out against Roma in the Europa League semi-final. De Gea though did cost us the Europa League final, because he missed his penalty and he had 11 chances to save a penalty and didn't save one of them. He should have saved at least one, or should I say two of them. There has been talks of a David De Gea and Jan Oblak swap deal, because Man United have been interested in Jan Oblak from Atletico Madrid. He recently spoke out on his future. He said he's in no hurry to leave Atletico Madrid. He insists that he's happy at Atletico Madrid, but he's admitted he could be sold if Atletico Madrid need to raise funds. He's valued at £70 million. Jan Oblak has a £103 million release clause, and he's under contract with Atletico Madrid until 2023. So we want this swap deal to go through to solve our number one crisis. But last season it said that De Gea had made his transfer decision. It said he's preparing to leave Man United, and Man United is set to pay off his huge contract. De Gea has like 2 years left on his current contract, and he's on £375,000 a week. I think we would demand around 50 million for De Gea. We'd certainly get a lot more than what we paid for him. But I said there's a very good chance he will go back to Spain. Romero, I'm expecting us to offload him, because he doesn't get in our team. He's like our third or fourth choice goalkeeper now. Most of Romero's appearances have come in the cup competitions. We recommended Romero in under Louis van Gaal era, brought him in on a free transfer from Sampdoria. Lee Grant, I'm also expecting us to offload him. He's like 38 years of age now. I recall Lee Grant making one appearance, and that was against Astana in the Europa League a few years ago now. I think we got Lee Grant on the free from Stoke. Phil Jones, I'm also expecting us to offload him. He's always been inconsistent, doesn't get in our 11, and he's been out of injury for a long time now. Phil Jones is the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. Being a long servant at Man United, he's endured 10 years at the club. Brandon Williams, I think, we need to loan him out, so he can gain more experience and he can get a lot more opportunities, because he seldom plays for us, Brandon Williams. He's our third choice left back. Williams did play 2 or 3 games last season. He obviously played in the final game against Wolves, put a very good performance out. He was playing at right back though. He's nowhere near effective on the right as he is on the left. Also played in the 2-1 defeat to Leicester at Old Trafford last season. I think he played in the Carabao Cup as well against Brighton towards the start of last season. Delors, we need to get rid of him permanently. He's out on loan with AC Milan at the moment. Andres Pereira, we need to get rid of him permanently. He's out on loan with Lazio at the moment. Nemanja Matic, I'm expecting us to offload him, because he's not one of our first choice midfielders, but he still gets his chances. I've got my strong reservations about Matic, because he's always been a slow player, and plus he's ageing up. He's been at the club around 4 years now. Got him in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Donny van der Beek, I think we should offload him. He isn't getting enough starts at Man United. He only started, 4 games in the league last season. Most of his appearances come from the bench. It recently said Donny van de Beek is set to hold showdown talks with Solskjaer over his future. Not so long ago, it said that we will reject any offers for Van der Beek in this summer transfer window, so reflecting on that, we are reluctant to let him go. He is a good player. He's Donny van der Beek. We got him in a deal worth £40 million from Ajax last year, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Van der Beek's only enjoyed 1 full season at the club. Juan Mata, I'm also expecting us to offload him. And Anthony Martial, I think we also need to offload him. But recently he said that Solskjaer made his decision on Martial's future. He's told the Glazers he wants Martial to stay for next season because he believes he's got a big role to play. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aware that next season is going to be huge for him. Next season, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has to win a trophy at Man United if he is to remain Manchester United manager. If things start to go wrong next season, then the pressure will be back on him and then he probably will end up getting sacked. Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. We haven't won a trophy for 4 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. I like Solskjaer's honesty. He did say last season wasn't a successful season for Man United. He accepted that. Because it was a trophyless season last season. Solskjaer has endured 2 full seasons at Manchester United, so obviously next season will be his 3rd full season. He's been in charge of the club now for almost 30 months, so that's over 2 years. But I've got to credit Solskjaer in quite a lot of aspects. I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done. You've got to say he's done a good job to say the squad he was left with, when he got appointed in as Man United manager. In his 2nd full season, which was last season, he got us a 2nd place finish in the league. That's not an achievement, like Solskjaer said. He got us to the Europa League final. I know we didn't win it, but he still got us to the final, so you got to credit him for that. That was his first major final as Man United manager. Solskjaer made mistakes in that final. His substitutions were on. He brought his substitutions on too late anyway. He brought his first sub on in the 100th minute of the game. He should have taken Rashford off because he sustained the knock, but he didn't take Rashford off. And he should have replaced De Gea with Dean Henderson for the penalty shootout. So there you go, I've pinpointed the mistakes he made in the final. Some United fans reckon he got his lineup wrong. I don't think he got his lineup wrong. I think that was the strongest 11. Obviously, Maguire wasn't available. Last season, we went the entire season without losing away from home in the Premier League. And that was a good record. Got us to the FA Cup quarter-final, also got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Did well in his first full season though, guided us to 3 semi-finals, got us a 3rd place finish. We're into the Champions League for next season. That's good news from Man United perspective because now we'll attract players to the elite level. He has made good signings as Man United manager so far. He's spent almost £300 million. He's got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, and I like the way he has promoted the youth. So they are the positives, and I do have my concerns about Ollie as well. Solskjaer has just under a year left on his current 3-year contract that he signed when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. I think it's a mistake giving him this new 3-year deal, and I think a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. You know, I think we should wait until he sees out his current deal, see how things have gone, and then decide whether or not to give him the new 3-year contract. You know, but reflecting now on all he's been with us, he has gained some managerial experience and he has learnt quite a bit on the job. We did appoint him in December 2018. He's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. Given the job permanently back in March 2019, reflecting now well he did as the interim manager. But all he knew when he taken over at Man United, it was going to be a massive job. If we do eventually sack Solskjaer, who's going to come in to replace him? I think we need someone in with that big club arrogance, you know, and we need someone in with a proven pedigree. But there's still United fans that are Ollie in and they believe that he needs more time. Obviously, there's United fans that are Ollie out. Obviously, there was quite a few United fans demanding him out after the Europa League final loss. But he hasn't got a long-term future at Man United. The reason he's still Man United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved him. Disregarding being a club legend, I can almost assure he would have been sacked now. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.